Good afternoon to everyone. This afternoon, our session would be on direct fluency instruction for developing independent readers. In this session, we'll focus on the broad definition of fluency, the importance of fluency, and the factors that affect its development. And this session will also provide some effective building fluency activities. Okay. To start with, at the end of the session, the participants shall be able to first define fluency and its critical attributes. Second, explain the importance of automaticity and fluency in the reading process. Third, identify and demonstrate different fluency building strategies effective for developing reading fluency. And fourth is to describe the elements that have been most effective for developing reading fluency. And to start with, we are going to have the anticipation guide. You are going to write agree or disagree in each statement. So please get a piece of paper, write agree or disagree in each statement. For number one, having a good reading fluency helps a reader to have a good comprehension. Having a good reading fluency helps a reader to have a good comprehension. Number two, increased amount of decoding instruction would automatically lead to improved fluency. Number three, skilled readers examine closely most of the words they encounter. Number four, fluency and automaticity are the same. 5, between repeated monitored oral reading and independent silent reading, the former improves reading fluency in the overall reading achievement. And the last one, round-robin reading, during which students take turns reading a few sentences or a paragraph, is one of the least effective practice configurations for students striving for reading fluency. For the first activity, you are going to have your group activity wherein you will have your brainstorming what you know about oral reading fluency. What does it mean? What does it look like? What does it sound like? Okay. So your outputs defined what reading fluency is, and reading fluency is the ability to read accurately with meaning, at the same time using expression and proper phrasing. Fluency combines rate and accuracy that requires automaticity and involves reading with prosody. Fluency is the ability to read like you speak. Baga yung binabasa nyo po, ito yung parang binibigkas nyo na lang po. And fluency includes speed and accuracy and proper expression that it can be performed without conscious action. Automaticity is quick, accurate recognition of words. It frees cognitive resources to process meaning and is achieved through corrective practice. Para ma-attain po natin ang automaticity, kailangan practice lang po tayo ng practice. And prosody is the ability to read text orally using appropriate pitch, stress, and juncture. Prosody is to project natural intonation and phrasing of the spoken word upon the written text. So natural lang po ang ating pagsasalita pagdating po sa ng prosody. Okay, fluency is not the end in itself, but it is a critical gateway going to comprehension. There are 3 important dimensions that build a bridge to comprehension. So ang fluency po, ito po yung bridge going to comprehension. It's bridging the gap from word recognition to comprehension. The first dimension is accuracy and decoding. It is decoding precision. Next dimension is automaticity or reading effortlessly, swift recognition of words. And the third one is expressiveness or prosody, oral expressiveness. First side one, ito pong side, yung accuracy and decoding or the decoding precision, a reader must be able to sound out the words in text correctly. And in terms of skills, mas na-develop po ito pagdating po ng phonics. It refers to phonics and other strategies for decoding words. And for the second dimension, yung automaticity or reading effortlessly, skilled readers not only are able to identify words accurately, but also recognize them instantly. Kaya pagtingin pa lang po nila ng isang sentence, kaya na po nilang basahin. This is important because readers who need to spend a significant portion of their time identifying individual words rarely have enough attention left over to focus on a text meaning. So pag isa-isa po ang pagbasa po ng bata, hindi siya automatic. Ang pag-intindi po niya sa text, sa meaning ng text, hirap po siya. In order to ensure, it is also important to note that in order to ensure adequate comprehension, learners must develop automatic word recognition through the extensive reading of connected text rather than simply developing the ability to decode words. And for the last one, expressive prosody, ito po yung dapat pag binasa po ng bata ang isang text o isang story, kailangan merong tamang intonation, pronunciation, tsaka yung phrasing, and yung expression po. Why? Imagine a child who reads without stopping pag may mga punctuation marks. Tuloy-tuloy pa po yan. Hindi niya mas maiintindihan po yung kanyang binabasa, yung meaning from that. Okay. Why is fluency important? Fluency is important because it provides a bridge between word recognition and comprehension, according to National Institute of Fluency Literacy. Over 30 years of research indicates that fluency is one of the critical building blocks of reading because fluency development is directly related to comprehension. So in other words, fluent readers recognize words and comprehend at the same time. Yung less fluent readers, however, they must focus their attention on figuring out words, leaving them little attention for understanding the text. So yun po ang sa less fluent readers. Iniisa-isa pa po niya yung pagde-decode ng words. Sa fluent readers naman, since kaya na po nilang basahin yung mga words, so they give meaning na po dun na po sa kanilang binabasa. Theory of automaticity. Ito po pinapakita niya na ang less fluent readers need to allocate more resources to decoding. So mas mahaba po ang oras niya sa pagde-decode than comprehension, while more fluent readers have more resources available for comprehension. According to Dr. Samuels, people have a limited amount of mental energy. If you want to multitask or to become proficient at a complex task such as reading, you first need to master the component tasks so you can do them automatically. For example, a reader who must focus his or her attention on decoding words may not have enough time or mental energy to read the meaning of the text. However, a fluent reader who can automatically decode the words can instead give full attention in comprehending the text. Here, fluency bridges the gap. These were the phonics, decoding, and word recognition are the three word-level skills na dapat ma-develop ng isang fluent reader. Because a fluent reading depends on this word level skills, which are phonics, wherein a reader should build a solid base of sound spelling correspondence. And for decoding, needs the ability to put sound and letters together into words. And word recognition, a reader needs to be able to recognize words. And when a reader can do these things automatically, that student is able to focus his or her mental energies in comprehending the text. While fluency doesn't ensure comprehension, kasi kahit fluent ka, hindi po 'yun proof na kaya na po niya mag-comprehend. Comprehension is difficult, but comprehension is difficult without fluency. Fluency is the crucial bridge between word recognition and comprehension. Okay. Fluency is accurate and rapid naming of reading letters or sounds, words, sentences, or passages. So there's a need for us to give fluency instruction. When students can perform reading and reading-related tasks quickly and accurately, they are in the path of fluency, which is an essential element for comprehension in mature reading. And to develop our pupils to be fluent, students need to learn to decode words rapidly and accurately, as well as connected text. And to increase reading speed while maintaining accuracy, what should teachers do to struggling readers? So hindi po lahat po ng ating bata ay kahit na kaya na po niya mag-decode, ay na-acquire na rin po niya ang fluency. What should teachers need to do? First is to provide opportunities for guided oral repeated reading that includes support and feedback from teachers, peers, and parents. Next, match reading text and instruction to individual pupil. Kung ano po yung level ng bata sa fluency, kailangan i-match po natin yon. If the level of the child is frustration at kaya lang po niyang basahin is for grade 3 level, kahit na grade 5 na po siya, give that material to them. Apply systematic classroom instructional assessment to monitor students' progress in both rate and accuracy. Okay. Why should we provide fluency instruction? According to Perfetti, suggests that slow word reading interferes with automaticity and thus impairs reading comprehension. And also research indicates that students who have reading difficulties have significant problems in fluency and continue to be slow readers in adolescence and adulthood. So, ibig sabihin, pag hindi po na-develop ng mga bata ang fluency sa elementary grade, may effect na po yan pagdating po niya ng adulthood. And also, according to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, or the NAEP, there's a report that they released that on reading ability, reveal only that 44% of our students has fluency. Students who struggle with comprehension focus so much on the decoding words that they pay less attention to understanding what they read. Fluency instruction may be the missing element in reading instruction. For most teachers, because most of us learn to teach reading with a focus on accuracy and comprehension, few of us were taught to read quickly and automatically. Though some students will learn to read fluently with little instruction from teachers, many will require practice. Kailangan po practice ng practice. Like for example, kung may papabasa po tayo ng short passage sa ating mga estudyante, kailangan repeated reading po yon. Not today, itong passage niya, The following day, iba po. Pwedeng, yung passage na yun, uulitin po ulit niyang basahin through repeated reading. Effective fluency building instruction, these are the critical features of fluency instruction. Corrective feedback. Pag narinig po natin na mali po ang nabigkas po niya ng bata, we have to give corrective feedback. Pero wag naman po natin sabihin, mali ka. Let's just read the word, read the phrase, or read the sentence correctly. Okay? Keep the end in mind. Fluency is only part of the picture. Part lang po siya ng big six. So, pero yun ang isang nagbe-bridge po from word recognition to comprehension. Fluency instruction needs repeated readings, relatively brief sessions, 15 to 30 minutes, and not all children need all learn to differentiate. So, ibig sabihin, ito po, we have to consider the individual differences of our pupils. And effective fluency building instruction rests on 3 critical decisions. First is we have to select appropriate instructional tasks. Like example, letter sounds, students can produce accurately but not fluently. Tama na siyang magbigkas ng isang letter na yon or word na yung basahin niya, pero hindi naman siya fluent. Second is scheduling if sufficient practice or multiple opportunities per day. And the third one is systematically increasing the rate of response. Pag meron kayo pong tinawag na pupil na mabasa for this day, ang pagbasa niya sa passage na yun is nagbasa siya for 5 minutes. The following day, dapat pagbinasa na po niya, nagbabawas na po siya ng oras. At saka dapat yung speed na niya, instead of having an error of 10 words do sa passage, the following day, sana 5 na po, na dapat meron pong rate of response. Steps to providing fluency instruction. First, measure students' fluency by giving them the assessment on fluency. Second, set fluency goals for individual students. Third, select appropriate text for fluency building instruction. Model fluent reading. Hindi po natin sila basta-basta pababayaan na magbasa. Kailangan teacher should model first. Next is provide repeated reading opportunities with corrected feedback. And we should monitor students' progress. For independent level on fluency ng mga bata, the child will have 1 in 20 words difficulty, 90% to 100% accuracy, and relatively easy for the reader. Yung text po, relatively easy na po sa kanila. For instructional level, words are difficult, 90% to 95% accuracy, and challenging but manageable text for the reader. And for frustration level, less than 90% accuracy and difficult text for the reader. Yung talagang text na binasa niya ay talagang hirap po siya. Now, how to help students become fluent readers? Is first, provide them with models of fluent reading, then have the students reread the text on their own. By listening to good models of fluent reading, then students learn how a reader's voice can help written text to make sense. Read aloud orally daily to your students by reading effortlessly and with expression. You are modeling for your students how a fluent reader sounds with your reading. And the second, to do this, first, build an inventory of what your students should read. Second, you should know how your students should read aloud repeatedly By pointing each word, you can show the students where and when to raise or lower your voice. So yun po yung repeated reading po na pwede natin gawin sa mga bata with guidance, with our guidance. Fluency develops a result of many opportunities to practice from practices with high degree of succession. Kung ngayon, 5 mistakes, 5 errors lang siya, bukas, siguro 3 errors na lang po siya dun sa fluency. What students should read? First, students should practice orally rereading text that is reasonably easy for them. Dapat nasa independent level po nila. Because if we will give a text that is difficult for them, then definitely we teachers will be frustrated kasi makikita po natin sa kanila na hindi sila fluent. Next, the text your students practice reading orally should also be relatively short. 50 to 200 words pa po would depend pero sa kanilang age level but sometimes on their ability pa rin po. The text should be the student's independent reading level. Poems for children are good materials. Why? Kasi dito po nakikita po nila yung rhythm and rhyme, and then na-enjoy po nila, and it would be so easy and fun and rewarding for them. Mas madali po nila itong ma-practice. Building fluency, we need to have oral fluency assessment, direct fluency instruction, and fluency practice. Now, what is the direct fluency instruction and intervention? This involves modeling and practice with repeated reading under the pressure. So, repeated reading po to. The teacher should use most of her allocated reading instruction for direct teaching of reading skills and strategies. Although silent reading or independent reading may be a way to increase fluency and reading achievement, it should not be used in place of direct instruction in reading. Kasi pang pagkakaiba po ng monitored oral reading, we can give feedback. We can give corrected feedback, tsaka pwede rin po nating sabihin na ito po ang dapat na pagbasa niyan. While in silent reading, independent reading, nalalaman po ba natin kung talagang nababasa po ba ng bata yon? Malay nyo yung mga bata natin is just mimicking. Ginagaya lang po nila ang kanilang kaklase. So direct instruction is especially important for readers who are struggling. Scientifically based research on fluency instruction that repeated and monitored oral reading, students read passages aloud several times and receive guidance and feedback from their teacher. So, mas maganda pa pong gawin ang repeated reading for struggling readers kaysa sa silent, independent reading. Tapos pag gagawin po natin yung repeated reading, practice lang po natin ito, paggawa lang po natin ito ng 4 times, pero not necessary na sa isang araw po nila ito gagawin. Pwede rin pong magbigay sa iba pang araw. Pero using first same passage or same text for repeated reading. Pag na-develop na po nila yung fluency dun sa text na yun or sa passage na yun, then give again another passage or text. Oral reading practice is increased through the use of audio tapes, tutors, peer guidance, or other means. Findings revealed that repeated reading procedures that offer guidance and feedback are effective for improving word recognition, fluency, and comprehension, and overall reading achievement. Students with low fluency benefit from repeated reading with a model and a reading text that is chunked in words or in phrases. So, practices that can be used to teach fluent explicitly. So, ito na po yung mga strategies na pwede rin po natin gawin. Reading with a model. The model reader can be a teacher, adult, or an older student. The model reader reads the passage first, then the student read it. Next, the student reads the passage again as quickly and accurately as he or she can without speed reading first. And then later on, yung sunod na po niyang gagawin, doon na po tayo magkakaroon na po ng speed reading. Fluency develops as a result of many opportunities to practice. Tapos ang pwede rin po natin gawin ng mga model readers, tingnan rin po natin yung key points. Hindi lang po puro basang papagawa po natin. They should also develop to get the key points and later on, i-summarize rin po nila yung kanila pong binasa. Effective practice is choral reading. In choral or unison reading, students read along as a group with the teacher or another fluent adult teacher. Students follow as long as teacher reads from a book or from their copy. If you are going to choose a book, ito po yung nasa independent level nila ng most of the students pag sa group po, sa klase. Huwag niyo pong pipiliin kung ano po yung kayang gawin ng mga nasa independent level. Yung kaya po ng lahat ang pipiliin nito. And it would be better if you would choose the patterned or predictable books. Kasi later on, pag may pattern na po siya, pwede na rin po silang sumunod kahit na hindi pa po nila, pag nakikita na po nila yung mga words na paulit-ulit po for repetitions. Next is tape-assisted reading. Students read along in their books as they hear a fluent reader. Read the book on an audio tape. So audio tape po ito. For tape-assisted reading, you need a book at a student's independent reading level and a tape recording of the book read by a fluent reader. The important role of the teacher is to determine that the students are following along and reading the text while the story is read aloud. Doon sa tape-assisted material po, kailangan yung material po, dapat wala siyang sound effect ng music. Talagang purely pagbasa lang po ng bata. For the first reading, the student should follow along with the tape. Susunod lang po siya. And then later on, tapos habang sumusunod po siya, tinuturo po niya yung words. And then later on, the student should try to read aloud along the tape. Una, follow lang po siya. Sunod, read aloud. And then later on, mawawala na po yung tape, siya na lang po ang magbabasa. Fourth is the reader's theater. It is the rehearsing and performing before an audience of a dialogue-rich script derived from a book, Students play characters who speak lines or a narrator who shares necessary background information. Reader's theater promotes cooperative interaction with peers. And dito po yung may mga iba't iba pong tono. Di po ba? Yung voices po ng characters. And what is critical here para maging maganda ang pong performance ng isang reader's theater, of course, is the repeated reading. And can recite it fluently with prosody. The last one is partner reading. Partner reading is a cooperative learning strategy in which two students work together to read an assigned text. Paired students take turns reading aloud to each other. For partner reading, more fluent readers can be paired with less fluent readers. And sometimes, pwede rin pong mag-partner ang dalawang bata na with the same level because after the teacher reads the story or the selection, later on, pwede na po silang dalawang magka-level ang magbasa. And here, nagkakaroon po ng time yung teacher to guide them while roaming around po inside the classroom. Why use partner reading? It allows students to take turns. It provides a mode of fluent reading and helps students learn decoding skills. It also provides direct opportunities for a teacher to circulate around the class and offer individual remediation. Now, after knowing the strong connection of fluency to comprehension and what we did a while ago, what then would teaching fluency be like for you? Please complete the statement. Teaching fluency is like because teaching fluency is like courting a woman because it requires a lot of patience. Okay, who else? Now let us go back to the anticipation guide, if it's agree or disagree. For number 1, it's agree. Why? Studies have shown that gains in fluency appear to lead to improved comprehension. Number 2, disagree. While automatic word recognition ensures fluent readers and can accurately and effortlessly decode text, it does not account for the ability to make oral reading like oral language. It is implicit that fluency involves reading with expression or prosody. And fluency is composed of 3 elements, which are, ano po yung 3 elements? Speed or rate, accuracy, automaticity, and expressiveness or prosody. Third, disagree because skilled readers instantly and accurately read on sight. They are able to focus their attention on understanding the text. So, hindi na kailangang isa-isa niyang titingnan yung words. Number 4, disagree. Automaticity refers only to accurate speed word recognition, not with expression. Therefore, automaticity is necessary but not sufficient for fluency. Kasi tandaan po natin yung expressiveness, yung expression, or yung prosody. Number 5, agree. Research indicates that the best strategy for developing reading fluency is monitored oral reading, hindi po silent reading. Next, the last is agree. A round robin is the least effective strategy because in itself, it does not increase fluency. Maybe because students only read small portion lang po ang binabasa. Di po pag round robin, small portion or read small amount of text and they usually read this once. Hindi na po paulit-ulit. Sorry po. Yan. Hindi na po siya paulit-ulit. And kailangan po kasi sa fluency to give this instruction, kailangan po repeated reading. So, it is with children who learn to read fluently and well, they begin to take flight into whole new worlds as effortlessly as young birds take to the sky. And before I end, I would like to show this video presentation.
When troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
I just would like to relate this video presentation to a struggling reader and as teachers that at first, the athlete there did the running, di ba po, mabadili lang po siya. Like a struggling reader, at first, kaya pa po niya. Kasi he or she can recognize words. However, bigla po siyang, nasaktan po siya is, doon na po siya medyo nahirapan kasi yung automaticity hindi pa po na-develop. And then later on, here comes the teacher who will guide that struggling reader and give corrective feedback to them, and then hanggang sa ma-attain po niya ang fluency, and then saka po niya medyo, yung mag-isa na po yung mga bata. So with that, as teachers and as educators, sana po let's make a difference in the lives of our pupils, most especially to our struggling readers. Let us not only develop readers who can read, ibig sabihin, to decode words, but do reading and do reading lang, wherein the reader can find meaning in the text. But let us develop our readers to love reading, na kahit po wala po tayo sa kanilang mga tabi, ay nag-e-enjoy po sila magbasa. Thank you and good day po.